Dakota, did you ever think, with all due respect to the Afghan National Army, I'm here to find 4 Marines and I can't risk my life spending time getting this guy and getting this guy and I'm on, was there ever a thought, I don't have time for this and I'm not going to risk my life for these guys?
No, because, there is no prioritization when it comes. It's just good and evil, and these guys were on my team. Think about what you want about them, but I don't feel like I just lost 4 guys that day. I mean, I lost six Afghans, right? And I knew those guys as good as I knew my Marines, and I cared about them too, right? I mean, just they were good guys. They had families. We were just born in 2 different places, and so no, I obviously, initially I went in there, thinking about my Marines, but at the end of the day, I did what they would have done for me, and I love those guys. We'd gone through some hard times together, and I'll be honest with you. Look, people, the Afghan National Army gets a bad rap, I don't know everybody else's experience, but what I'll say is my experience with the Afghan National Army, the core guys that I had. Obviously, there's good and bad. There's good and bad in the Marine Corps. There's good and bad what I served with. There's good and bad in the Army. There's good and bad in everything. But what I'll say is that the group of Afghans that I served with, I don't know that I would pick Americans over them. As far as what I thought about their character.
Wow, and a lot of the guys who you saved were wounded and would have died if you hadn't gotten them out of there, not to mention the respect you showed for the Afghan dead in taking their bodies back to a place of safety or where they could be delivered to loved ones. So you go back in. So that was time 2. You still hadn't found the Americans, and so you went back in a third time. And at that point, had things died down at all in terms of the shooting? Was the static, as you described it, of the gunfire quieting at all?
Yeah, so what would happen is we got a bunch of aircraft on station, right? And so I think it was on my first or second, one of the times when I figured out where everybody else was. I got accountability for everybody else. I came over the radio and finally said, be advised, we have 4 U.S. missing, right? I knew that as soon as I said those words, that resources for days are allocated to us, right? Now you don't want to you only use those words when you need to. When it's very critical, because you can't just use it just to get resources because you'll get in trouble. But they were missing. I didn't know where they were at. Nobody knew where they were at, and we needed the resources. And so when I said that, it goes up to a level that it goes to the top, right? And so the prioritization of resources allocation comes to us, and it did. We had fast movers on stations, which are airplanes. We ended up getting 2 Apaches. We got 4 Kiowas. So, you start getting these allocations of resources that are needed, and to be able to recover these bodies, or to be able to hopefully, recover the team alive. And so, and then obviously they're going to launch PJs, which is pararescue, and their whole entire mission is to get, it's to get down pilots, but, to recover teams. And so we got a team of PJs as well. And so, we what would happen is while the aircraft were on station, the fighting would die down. But then when they'd leave, to go refuel or resupply or whatever, I remember the first time that the helicopter, they were there for less than 5 minutes because they were completely out of ammunition. That's where the situation was.
This episode of The Megyn Kelly Show is sponsored by the Claremont Review of Books, a quarterly journal of original essays and book reviews illuminating the core issues of our time. The new spring issue just published, and it is well worth the read, which you can do at ClaremontReviewofBooks.com/MK. The cover essay is a fascinating survey of Russia's advance into Ukraine, how it came to pass, and what it may soon lead to. It's called A Tragedy of Errors by military expert and celebrated novelist Mark Halperin. He's brilliant, and you can access the essay for free at ClaremontReviewOfBooks.com/MK, along with a sampling of other articles from the new issue, including a fantastic review about the 1619 Project and the pervasive threat of critical race theory in schools, a favorite topic of ours here on this show. A terrific essay on what Trump revealed about the American right. And you can access a sampling of unlocked essays from the just released spring 2022 issue of the Claremont Review of Books today. New subscribers will receive a bonus issue with a 1-year subscription. 5 issues for the price of 4 at just $19.95. Go to ClaremontReviewOfBooks.com/MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.